One of the questions I get a lot is about negotiating travel pay with Field Nation clients, work market clients, or even direct clients. I'm driving back from a service call, so obviously I'm not going to be able to focus on the screen, so I hope you understand. How do I ask for travel pay? What do I charge for travel pay? Will clients pay it? Let me give you some guardrails to work with, because it's not a hard, fast rule, because there's so many different clients and because every client is different. First, I want to talk about mentality. Your time has value to it. A client that is asking you to drive an extended distance needs to compensate you for that time, or you need to not do the job. Let me put a couple of caveats on that. Caveat number one is I don't try to get travel pay for anything that's within a 20 to 30 minute drive time. It's not worth it. Most clients aren't going to pay it. You just have to assume that you're making enough money overall to factor in those kind of drive times. It's just the nature of field tech work. Caveat number two is if you are a new technician and you're trying to get established and you're trying to, let's say, break into Field Nation and you struggle to get jobs assigned to you, then asking for travel pay is probably a bad idea for you. In that initial stage of trying to break that glass ceiling and get your first 40 to 100 jobs, you probably need to actually do the long distance jobs for no travel pay, do the jobs that other people don't want to do at a reduced rate. You're competing with technicians that have experience and have ratings, and clients are just going to overlook you until you get more ratings and completed jobs under your belt. With those two caveats in mind, let's talk about how an established Field Nation or work market tech or a technician working with direct clients would approach travel pay. There's a couple of different ways that you can approach this. If you're not aware of this, the IRS has a deductible mileage amount that they list every year. Depending on when you're watching this, it's going to be a different number. You just have to Google what the IRS mileage deduction rate is. At this time, it's around, I think, 65 cents a mile. A lot of clients, by default, will accept any kind of travel pay that is that IRS deductible rate for one way. You'll find this a lot with clients. They only want to pay one-way travel. If you're driving to one site and then you can go along the way to a second site, that's fine. But if you're driving all the way to one site and it's a far distance away and you're having to come all the way back the same way to get back to your normal area, and you can't take any jobs along the way until you get back to your main city, that to me is different. That's when I really push for two-way travel pay. I personally don't use the mileage model. For me, the mileage, when you factor in how far you drive and you translate that to time, then the hourly rate that translates to is lower than my normal rate. On top of all that, you're incurring an expense for gas. I've heard a lot of technicians go that model and they're happy with it, and I think clients are more inclined to approve that, so you'll have a path of least resistance by doing that. The method that I follow is more of a time and hourly rate approach. And my mentality is, if you don't want to pay me what I'm asking and what I feel like makes up for my time, then I don't want to do the job. And I will politely decline the job. Even in those moments when you're going to decline a job, don't be rude about it. Don't be a jerk about it. I can't believe you people, blah, 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 blah. You want to have a good relationship with the dispatchers. You don't want to burn bridges. If we're talking about trying to make an hourly amount for travel time, this is how I approach it. I have a client that'll call me and they'll ask me to do a job that is 90 miles away. If you assume that you're going to drive 60 miles an hour as an average, then that's an hour and a half one way, 3 hours round trip. If I'm driving to go do your site that's an hour and a half away and I'm using 3 hours of my time, then my expectation is that I'm going to bill you for 3 hours of my billable rate. If your billable rate is $50 an hour, then you're going to offer them $150 for travel. Here's why I think of it that way. I'm going to be spending 3 hours on the road not making money. I could choose not to take that job and spend that 3 hours in town earning money. For me to give up my time, I'm going to be compensated for it because my time has value. Even though the clients may not like what you're proposing to them, they may approve it because they may not have a technician in that area, so they may not have an option. They may like your work and want you to do it as opposed to a tech they don't know, so they may approve it. You will also find that most dispatchers that call you have limits. There's a certain amount that they can approve without asking for permission. And so again, that's the path of least resistance. Do you want to take the path of least resistance and do what's easy? Or do you want to be patient and make an offer that may or may not be accepted and get the proper amount of pay for your labor hours? I approach it from the aspect of being patient and being willing to lose a ticket because they're not going to pay me what I want to make. I want to know that when I make a 3-hour round trip and I show up to a site, that I'm going to make that 3 hours of travel and that 1 hour guaranteed first hour on site for showing up. That's how I approach making travel pay requests and how I structure what I ask for. I hope that helps you to come up with a plan on how you want to request travel in your situation and what meets your needs. If you got value out of this, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. And as always, let's get you out in the field making money. I'll see you in the next video.